Hello, 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 everybody. How are we doing? Wonderful to see you all. As per usual, YouTube wanted to connect late. Let's see who we got over there. Geronimo, welcome in. The Goo Guy, hello. Nissan, Kaz, stuck in traffic. Sorry to hear it, man. Thanks for being here. Cerebral, what's up? Reaper, Daniel, Scuds, Beast. And then on the Twitch side, if I can scroll up far enough, Kara, hello. Chris, Draconis, Scrumptious, Gwen. Hi, Ryu. Hope I'm saying that right. Ghost Hunter, Akito. Hello, everybody. Did you hear the news on Destiny 2? Did they finally put something out? I did not. What is the news on Destiny 2? Chris with the Chris and Draconis both with the 20 stream streak. It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. It is tough to be in each and every one of these streams. I feel you, man. Appreciate you, Draconis, and I'm hyped from the dev stream. Yeah, what are people's thoughts on Year 8 Season 2? I just dropped a recap video. I apologize for the delayed stream start. If you were expecting me right at the normal time. But we are here. We are live, and the recap video is up if you need it. But now I'm curious, what is the Destiny 2 news? I don't play Destiny anymore, but I tend to follow what their stuff is. Oh, we'll release the final content update. Holy. They're ending Destiny 2. Wow, wow, wow. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to peruse through that later. We've got stuff to do in the Division 2. That's what you're all here for. So, drops are up on Twitch, I believe. Hopefully that's working. I checked and I saw the tag there. If anyone is wondering what you need to do, you can type in !drops. It will take you to a site that shows you the full rewards and how to link your account and do all the stuff. I thought the Brooklyn event wasn't until reset, so they're kind of releasing it in two phases. The first phase is the event pass, which is live today. This has all of the cosmetic rewards, and then come Tuesday, we get the new Hunter in Brooklyn, and we get the new global event that is thematically tied to this whole thing. So, first part today, second part on Tuesday, and in between we get the PTS for next season, as they announced this morning. That's coming tomorrow. Hi, Ryu. So yeah, as long as your accounts are properly linked on Twitch, then just watching this stream or watching anybody who has drops enabled will accrue the rewards as time goes on. There are time intervals, and it will pop up in the corner of your browser to say that you've unlocked different ones. Midnight, hello to yourself. How you doing? Rot Cap, good to see you. Archer said, nice dev stream today. Sad that some people were dunking on the upcoming PvP balancing, thinking it was a waste of dev work and time. That's a tale as old as time. Some people will never enjoy PvP, and that is okay. As a PvP player myself, I've been waiting a good 6 years for them to do something like this, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Hopefully those people can acknowledge that there is still a lot of PvE stuff coming with the new season as well in the PvE Dark Zone. So, yeah. The badge looked awesome on the Steam reward. So I can show you all the drops in case you're wondering if it is worth your time to watch. As per usual, they give them out to the people who are going to be doing it. Do the cosmetics go straight in? I think they do. All right. This is one of the patches, the Purple Flame Skull. I forget what time interval this drops at. Maybe somebody can fill us in the chat. And then we have the bridge right here. So those are the two different patches. And then there is a weapon skin right here, the Purple Flame. That's not terrible. I've seen worse ones. So you get those patches, the weapon skin, and then an exotic and a named item cache. The Goo Guy with the 12 months of membership on YouTube. Thank you, my friend. Gotta go soon. Gonna have to watch the recap vid, but caught started the stream. Love the great and continued content. Thank you for being a member for an entire year, my guy. It is very appreciated. Much love. Thank you. Thank you. Trax coming in with the Prime resub. Thank you, man. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. I hope this brings back the DZ farming series. Yes, it will. Again, it might not be like the context might not specifically be that anymore just because we've gotten most of those drops, but live DZ commentary videos will return. We'll put it that way. Will the PvP balance directly impact my play? No. Am I glad they're doing it? Yes. More players, always the better. That is the attitude I like to see, Chris. Reaper, what's going on? Hooky said, I watched a video of yours from 6 years ago. Your voice sounded so young. Yeah, it turns out that, people's voices change. I get a lot of comments. I shouldn't say a lot, but I get some comments these days of people being like, well, I heard a voice or a video of yours a few years ago. Have you switched to AI? I'm like, no, that's just age. I'm sorry, Rogue, but the purple flame skull patch is going to be replacing your patch on my outfits. AI, I don't blame you. I have infinite respect to anyone who has dedicatedly run this patch, but I also understand that customization is cool. Do not feel obligated to continue running this. I hope I'm going to say this right. Alparis 3. I'm not saying it correct at all. Thank you very much for the Prime, kicking off a hype train on Twitch. Very much appreciated. Just to see, we got over 200 people already here over on Twitch. Thank you all so much for tuning in, hanging out. Drops are active. I like the Dark Sun vendors, and the Caduceus 1.5% damage seems low. Oh, I think it's going to be... I wonder if they might have to nerf it. Now, this is without testing it. I don't want to claim that I know how strong it's going to be, but given the fact that it's now based on damage dealt, I mean, just think about how much damage we can now get with Prototype, right? If you're hitting a 3 million crit, I mean, still, I guess 1% of that is pretty low, but I think it's going to be strong. I'll put it that way. I think its current presentation is going to be strong. What's going on, Tiger? No, I just kind of switch around what I wear every so often just for some variety. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, Quiz Kill, we were just I hadn't seen that before going live, but someone pointed it out to me. That's pretty wild. I'll have to I'll have to look at it later today. Did you see the changes that they're making to hype trains? I don't think so. What are the changes? So, to take a look at some of the new stuff, we have the Event Pass Live. I've got the premium version of it so that we can take a look at those rewards. However, you don't have to pay if you don't want to. There are two full free outfits here, the Rat Queen one and Danvers, whereas the Cleaner Boss and the LMB one are tied to the premium track. They have now instant rewards with this, which is new. So we get to claim the LMB one right away, which I figured they were going to put at the end. That's like, I think for a lot of people, the one they're most excited for. So let's claim those and see what kind of fit we can come up with that. We'll chat later. It's pretty neat. Sounds good. By the way, hope you're having a good day so far, Demarche. We need some new skills or variants soon with the Central Park expansion. Yeah, I mean, given Brooklyn delivered smart cover, one could make the assumption that the Central Park DLC will probably have some kind of new skill, which is exciting. I mean, you all might remember from my coverage beforehand, I didn't think that Brooklyn would have a new skill. I thought that was going to be too much to pull off, but I was pleasantly surprised. We can finally be an LMB officer. I don't know how... I don't love the little capes and cloaks and all that they've been doing on some of them, so I don't know if I'm going to rock the shirt. but the headgear is pretty cool. I feel like PvP balancing, crossplay, and survivors is going to make Division 2 blow up in popularity. I mean, we saw what happened in March when there was, like, they didn't really add anything super significant with the March update aside from realism mode, which I know some people wanted to see, but it was really just an acknowledgement, I think, from the wider gaming community of, oh, Division 2 is still here. They're adding stuff. So I anticipate that pretty much every big drop this year we'll see people surge back in, then they'll flow back out, and that's just kind of the nature of it. But I'm optimistic for the future. The XP isn't counting towards my event pass. I didn't buy premium. Why is that? Gilgamesh, I'm not sure. I can't say. I haven't done anything so far with it. This morning I was entirely focused on the dev stream and the recap, so let's we'll start getting into it now, and I will let you know if I notice anything. I take it the core strength is not dropping prototype. It should. They said they fixed that issue. I've not tried it myself. Maybe someone can report if they've done escalation for it today. Because it's on DUA.
New agent is joining your
Deadly
team.
Germ, thank you so much for the resub at tier 1, my friend. Very kind of you. Kizzy as well, coming in with the prime resub. Said, have a good day, Rogue. Be good. Are you heading out, Kizzy? Well, that's very kind of you to drop in and resub. I appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, too. Thank you all for the hype train as well, which just concluded. It's working. I just ran DUA. Thank you for the confirmation. So it sounds like prototype core strength is dropping. How do I get prototype gear? Bailey, you're going to want to interact with the escalation mode and system, which you can find here at the base. You play different missions at different tiers. Those have higher and higher chances to drop you prototype gear. You can buy them as well with escalation tokens from this vendor. And starting next season, as they announced, you will be able to buy them using DZ resources, earned either from the PvE or PvP Dark Zones. The Season Pass XP is not counting for the Event Pass items. Well, let's try it out. Let's try it out and see. Actually, you know what I can do that's easy is
A new agent
do
is
a weekly
your team.
project. So this will give us 1150. That should, in theory, get us to level 3. Or progressing into level 3. So let's see. Wait. Do I have my modifiers on? Ha! They tried to trick me. Now we'll get more. Okay, okay. That looks to be working for me, although it didn't quite give us the full bonus for this. Because it should have been, what, like 11 something? Is that the one where they separate season XP with, like, event XP? I don't know how they calculate that. Karma's with the 3 months. Thank you, sir. Said RG is the man. You're the man. Appreciate it. Sith with the resub at tier 1 as well. 4 and counting. Thank you, my friend. Tracks, yes. They announced just this morning that next season we are seeing a PvE Dark Zone coming in. So far, it's just going to be exclusive to next season, but that is something they're adding in, which I have my thoughts on. It seems like it's being done in a fairly good way from the perspective of someone who has not been really with that idea because of the impacts on the PvP Dark Zones. It seems like it's going to be okay, but we're going to try it out on the PTS, and I'll give my thoughts. How much is the event pass? It is 1,000 premium credits. That's a bit lame, no? PvE Dark Zone, no matter how they do it, kind of defeats the object of it. That's the viewpoint that I've held for many years, but a lot of other people feel differently. So we'll see how it goes. And I think this is the duality of it, where on my end, back-to-back comments, Karma said PvE Dark Zone, they gotta be kidding. And then Fenrir said PvE DZ, might step foot in it then. I think the goal of getting more people to play more content isn't a terrible one. My thing has always been, it's very hard to add a PvE Dark Zone without taking away from the PvP ones in terms of reasons to play there, right? The whole idea of the Dark Zone is that you're getting good rewards for the risk of taking on PvP. The way they're doing it sounds promising in that regard. The PvP Dark Zones are going to have a higher yield of DZ resources, and they're buffing the vendors in terms of what they offer. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to check out the PTS. But for anyone who didn't see the news this morning, on top of that, they're doing a huge PvP rebalance. There's going to be a massive balance pass for PvP coming in Season 2. They're also adding a normalized Dark Zone. So one Dark Zone is going to remain as is with Shade and Expertise enabled. One is going to be without Shade and Expertise, but with PvP. And then one is going to be PvE. And the PvP ones will be more rewarding for your time. And the PvE one is going to be largely tied to season progression with all of that. Tats, yes. Again, all the info is in the recap video that I just posted, but there's going to be a toxicity mechanic in the PvE Dark Zone related to the seasonal modifier. There's going to be scaling difficulty so that the ads stay, in theory, stay challenging for up to 12 people. There's going to be hunters of the extraction. So there's a lot being done across the board. It's not just a flip there. I feel you, Karmas. Again, that's largely where my train of thought has been for many years, but we'll see how it goes. Again, this is so far only a thing they're doing for Season 2. So once Season 2 is done, there will be no more PvE Dark Zone. All right. We got to craft a good fit here. I don't know if I want the shirt. Oh, it works with hoods. That's kind of cool. But if not this shirt, then which? What if I put on a different backpack? I could rock it like that. That's not terrible. They also said that a anti-cheat update is the one that they've been talking about is coming with Season 2. So hopefully, between balancing and anti-cheat, PvP itself feels a lot better. And we'll see where they go from there. All right, we're going to run it like that. Frostwolf, if you type in !event, it will take you to the patch note page or like the event description page. But basically, we have an event pass that's live today. And then on Tuesday, we're getting a new global event that is thematically tied to Brooklyn and the whole thing. And then Tuesday, we are also getting a new hunter in Brooklyn. So it's kind of a 3-part thing. Some of it is coming out today. Some of it is Tuesday.
The base of operations is on high alert. Civilians must undergo a body search to gain access to the safe area. Where did that one go?
Do you know anyone that would be happy to help me level up and get a hold of gear I just started? Well, welcome, Raider. If you want to join our Discord server, there's a lot of people in there who are often quite willing to group up and help out with stuff. If you type in !Discord, you'll get a link to that. There you go. Demarsh just put it in the chat. And that's Fenrir. That's something they talked about on the stream, is that by having a PvE Dark Zone and by having now a normalized Dark Zone, they're hoping that that gives people a better on-ramp to try out PvP in a more balanced and fair environment. So we'll see how that goes. All right, well, let's start doing gameplay. I apologize. We've just been standing still here for like 20 minutes. Let's get to doing our stuff. We have a priority objective for air and space, so I'm just going to run that as a little warm-up. We'll start getting our XP going. Do I have the right setup here?
To the parking garage looks like your best way
Yes. They did also confirm that the Caduceus is going to be a Season 2 weapon. So, the mysteries can be put to bed about that. It's going to be in the Season Pass. Once that update goes live. It's also being switched to weapon damage focus, where it heals you based on damage dealt. So I'm thinking I can cook something good with that. I'm kind of excited. But I wonder if some people are going to be bummed out by it not being based around skill power anymore. So your watch doesn't matter in the DZ anymore. Only in one of the three. So it should still be enabled within the PvE Dark Zone. It'll be enabled within the, I don't know what they're calling it, but like the full experience Dark Zone. But now there is one normalized DZ that has no shader expertise levels enabled, much like Conflict. That is the one that I plan to be spending a lot of my time in. They mentioned in the stream, they're like, that's the training DZ for the other one, but I just don't want those things active in PvP. I think it feels a lot better with them off, so that is where I will be spending my time.
Anything they can from this place. They're crafty bastards, I'll give them that.
Heals around damage dealt. Sounds like it could make my Heartbreaker setup have ridiculous amount of sustain. Yeah. 100%.
And blow the shit out of anything too dangerous.
Hermes, what's up, man? I have my reservations about a PvE Dark Zone. I always have, since people have talked about it since Div 1. But on the PvP side of things, I'm over the moon to finally be getting PvP updates.
When you're done fucking things up there.
Keep moving. You still got 2 halls to clear.
What were your thoughts?
Hostile radio intercepted.
Division's on my 6! So cut through the planetarium. We gotta secure that ordnance.
A new agent is joining.
Faraway Thrower and Jolly, thank you both very much for the primes. Much appreciated.
But so far, it's the only planet that can support life as we know it. In the vast space, it's irrational to think that our little planet is only capable of creating and sustaining life. We know that Mars once had vast oceans, but many of the elements found on Earth could only be created in the intensity of a supernova. While no other planet, our solar system sustains life, it's possible that building blocks that allowed organisms to evolve from single-cell amoebas to complex living beings
Birdie, what's going on?
started as
Didn't mean to climb that. Can the new modifiers only be leveled up in the Dark Zone but can be used in other open world content? Thoughts? I believe that's what they outlined, yes. But given you can, I mean, it's tied around the PvE Dark Zone, so they're not forcing people to go into PvP to progress their modifier stuff. That sounds fine to me. It's gonna feel, I think, with hunters and the increased difficulty, like a relatively new PvE experience for people to go and do. So that sounds fine by me. More of a PvE guy, but happy that PvP is finally getting some love. Yeah, I appreciate people that can that can make that distinction and say, even though it's not for me, I'm glad it's there. Because again, on the PvP side, we've waited like literally 5 years, 6 years to get something like this, and to hear it's just the first of a ongoing balancing phase is, I'm quite excited. Only Spartan, is it worth it? I mean, you can get decent rewards from places like Conflict and whatnot. I don't think, like, you shouldn't force yourself to get into PvP just for rewards. I don't think there's enough to justify that. But it can be quite fun and fulfilling if you do get into it. I plan to definitely, now that we've heard that this is the focus for next season, there will definitely be some how to get started in PvP guides, PvP build videos, all that stuff closer to when next season comes out. So stay tuned for those if you're interested in trying it out for sure.
Setting a recovery team.
Wasn't Project Resolve PvP related? It contained a few good PvP changes. It was not the focus of Project Resolve though. And the kinds of balancing they're talking about now goes far, far, far beyond what Resolve did. So Resolve was a nice step, but it was, in the grand scheme, it was pretty minimal.
Database hatch indicates designation LMR 90.
Chamberlain, what's up? They have not confirmed when and if stretch goals will come back, but I have to assume either next week or the one after.
Damn it. The salvage crew just ran into those reinforcements. They need backup.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Okay, got that done.
Left a big stockpile of ordnance. Throw in the fact that the settlements can scavenge those workbenches and tools, and I'd say it's
Not
been
Lucas
pretty
with the
good.
20 stream streak. Thank you, man. What is that outfit? This is comprised of some of the new items in the event pass. We have the LMB boss jacket and headgear. And then I've just got the Death Roll backpack and Umbrella Core pants. Mav coming in with the 200 bits. Thank you. How you doing today? Cold, what's up, man? Breath of fresh air to finally see some PvP updates. How do you feel about the DZ changes, and which talent reworks are you looking forward to? DZ changes, I love the fact that we will have the Dark Zone without shade and expertise. That's like one of my biggest gripes with modern day Dark Zone, is I just think it inflates stats way too much. So that's the one I'm going to be playing in. I will always be somewhat skeptical of a PvE Dark Zone. I don't think that is in service of the PvP ones, if you know what I mean. But it sounds like the way they're going to do it is fairly okay, so we'll check it out. Talents I'm looking forward to changing most. I mean, just the outliers, right? Bighorn, Capacitor, Core Strength. Ones that enable armor regen builds, like all that kind of stuff, probably. I'm dying to get those patch notes tomorrow to see what they're going to do. What about you, man? What do you think of it all?
I wish we had some cards or something.
Hopefully we get to the point where each new season brings PvE and PvP content. Yeah, 100%. I'm hoping that that is the goal by now, having a lead PvP designer, is that every season we can get, you know, if we need balance adjustments, if we can get incremental content, anything like that. What's up, Metal Chick? Yes, you can progress it anywhere in the game. Even though it's thematically tied to Brooklyn, you don't have to be in Brooklyn to get progress. I'm hoping the new normalized Dark Zone is more active. I just want balancing and more people to fight and I'll be happy. Yeah, 100%. I'm hoping the focus will be on the normalized Dark Zone and conflict, of course. But especially given the fact that the DZ vendor is going to offer more and you get more resources by playing the PvP Dark Zones, then I definitely would hope that that DZ sees some emphasis. Because that's all we want, right? Like you said, we just want people to fight and for it to be fun. Well, and for the Dark Zone to be rewarding. Again, like, the core idea of the Dark Zone is that it should be one of the most rewarding places in the game because you're taking on the risk. So, unfortunately, the DZ has not really had that reward component for a long time. We'll see if the vendor change can restore some of that. What changes are happening to the capacitor? We won't know until tomorrow, when they drop the patch notes. However, all of the things they're proposing are only for PvP. So in your menu, how you can toggle between PvP and PvE stats, it's only going to apply in Dark Zone and Conflict. PvE is not receiving any balancing changes that they've talked about. Loving the stream. Hey from Australia. Martyr, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Expertise and Shade should have never been in PvP to begin with. Yeah. At least expertise, 100%. Shade levels I'm not that pressed about. They give you a small advantage, obviously, but getting to 1000 now is not that hard. But expertise, yeah. It just skewed things so much that I don't know why it was there. Sorry, folks. Apparently my voice is not going to treat me well today. If you hear me clearing my throat a lot, that's why. I feel like we need a talent called TBD. Nice nod to Alex pointing to it on stream. Yeah, that was funny. Let's get those exotics. Complete a conflict match. All right. We're doing it. Did that get us to the next level on here? It did.
A new agent is joining your team.
So maybe we'll go outfit by outfit. Are your drops enabled? They should be. They should be indeed. Matt Kane with the 100 hydration bits. Thank you, sir. Hope your day is going well. Karma's with the primary sub. Thank you, man, for being a member on Twitch and YouTube. That's very, very generous of you. Mav with the Gigantify emote. What's up, Trey? What's new coming in still at work? In the live game today, we have the Brooklyn Event Pass. That has begun, as you can see right here. But then they also did the live stream for the Year 8 Season 2 PTS. They're doing PvP updates, anti-cheat, PvE Dark Zone, new gear, new modifiers, all that stuff. What are the stats on your caretaker? I've got Detox and Amalgam. Hermes with the 10 gifted. Thank you, man. His wallet is dropped once again. As always, that's very kind of you, dude. Anyone on Twitch who just got gifted a sub from Hermes, please drop a thank you in the chat if you were able. Enjoy the badge, enjoy the no ads.
Behind cover. Stick with that agent.
Appreciate you as always, man.
What they'll do.
Merg, what's up? Thanks for making the vids. Catching up on Div 2. Been out for a minute now, just jumping back in again. Well, welcome back. We're happy to have you. I'm glad the videos have helped. I'm now super curious about the whole Destiny thing. There's going to be a bajillion videos for me to watch later. Let's see. Destiny 2. Yeah, they're ending it. Wow. That's crazy. They're winding the game down. Yeah, they said they're going to stop development and work on incubating other things. They'll probably work on Destiny 3, I would imagine, but much like Division 3, it's going to take many years to make it. Because AAA game dev is not a quick thing nowadays. Amalgam is my new favorite. Random status has saved me many times. Yeah, I have trouble running a prototype build without Amalgam on it nowadays. It's very good. The big PvP update is to add a PvE Dark Zone. And the big PvP update is for them to launch an anti-cheat improvement into widespread PvP balancing. But I agree, it is a little bit ironic that the PvP update comes alongside a PvE Dark Zone. And I plan on checking it out in the PTS tomorrow, and I will give my full thoughts. As if anyone's watched me for a long time, you'll know that I've never been a huge fan of the idea of a PvE Dark Zone, so we shall see how it goes. Skills are still going to be quite fun to deal with. They mentioned that that's not going to be in this first round of balancing, so they're probably going to remain quite busted next season.
Agent vital signs 0. Agent down.
Destiny 2 is done. Yeah, they just announced it this morning. More people for Division. I'd be very curious to know if people switch over. I mean, we already saw in the last year that a lot of Destiny players checked out Division 2, and you know, they're not like identical games, you know. There are things that people like about Destiny that Division doesn't do, and vice versa. But yeah, I'll be curious to know what goes down there. How much time do we have before Season 2 drops? They haven't given a definitive release date, but it should be about a month. As a PvE player, the idea of a PvE Dark Zone is very confusing, as I thought the entire purpose of the Dark Zone was PvP. I am in large part with you, Error Code. I agree.
An agent needs assistance. Boost about to come online. Boost now active. Allies are acquiring the boost.
The other important detail in the conversation is they said that it's specifically a Season 2 feature. So at the end of Season 2, there will no longer be a PvE Dark Zone. I think they kind of hinted that if people like it enough, they could bring it back, kind of similar to Companions, but for now, it's going to be a one-season deal. Whoa.
Agent down.
I don't know what just happened there. My guy got
Serious trouble.
real glitched out.
Detected. Hostile Stinger hive detected.
Oh,
An agent
that's the
needs
player.
assistance. A new agent is joining your team.
Get your skills out of here. Dusty, thank you so much for the prime.
Agent down.
Crawl back here, man. Oh, shoot.
System malfunctioning. System reactivated.
That's so awkward. I'm sorry to teammate. Alright, hang on. I will check chat. I'm just trying to not die. Did that guy live? No, he died. Good. Oh! Everyone's got skills. That's just the thing.
Needs assistance.
A specialization supply
Um,
drop has been arranged for you.
What's up, Sarah? Yeah, we were just talking about it a minute ago. Pretty wild news. Do we know anything about survive? Oh shoot, I lost it.
Agent down.
Do we know?
Reinforcements are running
Where
low.
did it go? Do we know anything about survivors here? Some people say it's open world, some say it's not. We don't know a ton. They've given us a few details. I guess it depends on what you mean by open world. It's gonna follow a pretty similar gameplay loop to the original Survival, where it's session-based from what we know. So once you drop in, it's open world, but there will still be extraction sessions, from what they've said. Doesn't Countdown kind of offer that PvE extraction mode already? I mean, that's always been kind of the discussion about a PvE Dark Zone. A lot of PvE players want that because they would prefer more of the game be PvE, which makes sense, but on the flip side, the entire game is already that, right? If 90 to 95% of the game is PvE, then it doesn't feel great to the PvE players to take any more of that away to give it to the PvE side. Again, what they're proposing now is a one-season thing, and so I think it'll be interesting to see how it goes and how it feels once that's gone. Kozak, what's up, man? The Brooklyn event has 3 parts to it. The one that came out today is an event pass with new cosmetics, and then on Tuesday we're getting a new global event themed around Brooklyn and the Purple Flame, as well as a new hunter within Brooklyn. Your content was the reason I came back to play Div 2. Top content, thank you very much. That's kind of you to say.
There are no more reinforcements.
No lives remaining. I didn't realize I was the only one out here. Everyone else died.
Boost about to activate.
We're gonna have to lock in here. What happened to Destiny? They announced that Destiny 2 is not going to receive any more updates after this one that's coming out in a few weeks. They're winding down development, which is pretty wild.
The boost is being taken by the enemy. And the enemy has acquired the boost.
Love your content, bro. Thank you, Gamer Mute. Much appreciated. Let's see if I can get behind him here. They can be right here.
An agent needs assistance. agent is joining your team.
I'm gonna go up here and highlight one of Conflict's biggest problems, and I'll abuse the fact that there's no radar. I'm gonna sit right
You're
here,
the only one left on your team, Agent.
get in behind them after they run by. I'm the last one left. What do y'all think? Can I turn this around? He had hazard. I goofed. I goofed big time.
Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
The rogues have run out of reinforcements.
He's gonna spawn behind me. I gotta hope they're not at the fence. Oh! Okay, we made it. I was scared there for a second. They're gonna track me, so I need to let this go here. It's gonna show up right in front of me.
Hostile stinger hive detected.
I don't have any kits. It's over. It's over.
Vital
Damn.
signs critical. Agent
I tried.
incapacitated.
It's a loss.
Mikey G with the tier 1 resub. Thank you, my friend. Kicking off a treasure train. Thank you all. Speed Racer redeemed to go rogue. Sadly, I was in conflict. Alright, we got our prio objective. By the way, y'all, very much appreciate the 450 of you hanging out on Twitch.
Safe area detected.
Nearly 200 on YouTube. We've got our drops active. There's the new train. Oh, I think that's been up for a little bit because we had one of those before in a prior stream and people were telling me about it. All right. I'd prefer to get exotic ones, but I won't be that strict with it. 2 resource convoys. Two resource convoy. I just realized what that was. That's not. I don't want that. Unless there's a few spawned in already. Like, that can either be one of the easiest or the hardest ones, depending on how lucky you are to get them to spawn. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on all of the chat things here. Given some people's view on Division 2 bringing over too many things from Div 1, what's your take on the bringing over the Caduceus? We actually talked about this pretty in-depth last stream. I don't subscribe to that same viewpoint that they're bringing over too many things. They have been bringing over more things, absolutely. But I think when you look at something like Destiny 2 is what we brought up last stream, I think there are examples of where that goes a bit overboard, or at least where that becomes like an expected thing that, oh, every update there's going to be something from the old game here. Division 2 doesn't like reprise content from Div 1, at least they haven't yet. You know, people have begged them to bring back Underground and bring back the Div 1 Dark Zone and all that, and that's never happened. So I don't personally have a problem with them bringing back beloved items from Div 1, and I don't think it's been done to too high a degree, but that's just me. They should bring over Div 1 to Div 2, is what I said, one giant game. That would, to the best of my understanding of game development, that would be essentially equivalent to them developing an entirely new DLC. Like, you can't just bring it over. You have to basically rework all the content to work in the new engine version and scale it up to the new asset size and all that. So I would personally rather they work on new stuff than spend a ton of resources doing that. Draconis coming in with the 10 gifted, man. Thank you so much. Keeping the treasure train going. If anyone in here got gifted a sub from Draconis, please do me a favor and help share the appreciation and drop a thank you. Very kind of both of you and Hermes, man. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you. Do you prefer the single Dark Zone in Div 1 or the multiple in 2? Single. 100%. But I mean, it's not even necessarily whether there is one or multiple. It's just the real difference is a larger Dark Zone with higher player counts is what I think is way more fun.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
With the amount of tech that Div 2 has, there's no possible way they just plop Div 1 in and make a super map. Yeah. Kind of like WoW, where the game just has ongoing expansions and updates. That works if you build the game with that in mind. I think what we've seen with Division 2 is that it was not built to be a forever game, unfortunately. I mean, it doesn't have crossplay or cross-progression, and they've even said that cross-progression at this time is too big of a monster or beast to try and tackle. Even today on the dev stream, Alex was like, yeah, we had to limit the number of hunters that were putting at the extractions in the PvE Dark Zone so that it doesn't crash the game. There's just certain things that sound amazing and easy on paper, but in actuality require a lot of forethought and work behind the scenes to make work. Yes, SMF, they said that the 3 different Dark Zones now will rotate once every week, is their current idea. They won't in the PTS, but in the live game they will. The Elite didn't count? Oh my god. I went for that one because I was like, oh, that'll be some easy extra rewards, but it didn't count. Alright, we'll go for this one. Any thoughts on Bungie announcing end of service for Destiny 2? We were talking a little bit about it earlier. I mean, it's definitely pretty wild. End of an era. I haven't been really a Destiny player in many years. Destiny 1 was where I spent the majority of my time in that franchise, but I feel for all the Destiny fans out there. I still keep up on like news on the game, and I know how passionately they've been hoping to get kind of a restart on the momentum for the game. So like I said, I feel for them. I would never... People like to create rivalries between all these different games that are in similar genres, but I would never wish upon another community to have their favorite game shut down. I mean, we were pretty close to that in Div 2 land back in 2021 when the team moved over to Outlaws. We know how that feels. So I hope they're able to get their Destiny 3 in a few years. Probably in more than a few years if they're only going to start work on it now, but yeah, it's pretty wild. Cross was choked up reading the twid. I'm gonna have to go watch all that later today. It's fascinating, really, just from a like, again, just from like a game dev perspective, how even something that historically has been as successful and popular as Destiny is just has to shut down. It's like, I think it really does put into perspective that it's not just about, I think when a lot of people think about game development, it's like, well, just do this, right? Whatever the case is, just do this. When you have to think about how many available resources do we have to make something like that happen? What's possible within the engine that we have? What are the stakeholders who have input from the publisher? What are their ideas and input on where things should go? What revenue targets do we have that we need to hit? Like, there's just an endless list of things that have to be taken into consideration before you see and play the things on your screen. And I think the whole Destiny situation is a pretty good example of that. Crazy stuff, man.
Incoming hostiles detected.
They're not actually sunsetting the game. Oh, you're kidding. What? Hermes, you made me think I'd just made that whole speech for nothing there. Alright. What? Oh, I was in the wrong zone. Why did I think it was up here? Well, that was dumb of me. Oh well. Why does a PvE Dark Zone make people mad? Honest question, not trolling. Mostly because from the PvP community standpoint, 95% of the game is already PvE leaning, and PvP has gotten such little support over the years. Like it's you can't really say it's not functional, but it's the next closest thing to that. And so and the whole premise of the Dark Zone has PvP at its core, right? That's what the Dark Zone has been since they revealed it in 2013. So the idea of shifting any of the focus that PvP has left in this game to PvE rubs a lot of PvP players the wrong way. Nail down below. Hello. Did that. I could do a stronghold for an exotic. What's the weekly DUA? Yeah, I'll run a capital. Alright, what did I miss? Could you see Div 3 on Unreal over Snowdrop? I've been hearing that Snowdrop is extremely difficult to work with. It's already been confirmed that it's on Snowdrop. I mean, it was pretty heavily rumored before, but the current job listings they have are for Division 3 Snowdrop positions. And I think, again, I think it's very hard for any of us who are not game developers to accurately assess what makes an engine good or bad. But I do know one distinct benefit of them having their engine in-house is that they can iterate it and improve it to fit exactly what they want the division to do. We know that the tech director for Division 3, Nikolai Stefanov, is also the chief architect of Snowdrop. Like, he's in charge of both things. And I think, we'll see, I think that will prove to be a very advantageous thing. Because, again, they can really guide it to do exactly what they're hoping Div 3 will do. Whereas if you use a third-party engine like Unreal, yes, it has its perks and it's a very powerful engine, but you're constrained to what that engine is designed to do and what features it has. So, But yeah, long story short, it's already pretty much confirmed that Div 3 is on Snowdrop. What else did I miss? Darth, what's up, man? Going pretty good. Just talking all things Division and gaming. How are you? Lucas, what's up, man? Stream is good. We're just hanging out. We're chatting. Forget PvEDZ. I want to body slam that dude in the White House that keeps walking past me. Yeah, he pulls you out of the menu. Much slower than I desired. Very busy, or been very busy with real life. I feel you, man. Sometimes it gets that way. Great, waiting for the new hunter. Yeah, Tuesday is going to be fun. The fact that we're just getting a new hunter puzzle dropping in game is quite exciting. I gotta hydrate before we go in here. Hawaiian, what's up, man? Love the content. Needed this Road Gold stream after a few rough days at work. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I hope it gets better soon. But I appreciate you being here. Rebecca, what are your top 10 things you want to see return from Div 1 or 2 integrated into 3? Top 10. I don't know if I can name 10 right now, but let's see. What do I want to see return in Div 3? I would love for gear to be a little bit more based on, excuse me, how we saw Gear 1.0 in Div 2 being, or kind of how we saw it in Division 1, where different gear pieces had more distinctive elements between them. That's not to say they should just do it one for one, because obviously those systems have problems, and that's why they reworked them to begin with. But I think that Gear 2.0 homogenizes gear in a way that makes it less fun to get pieces into theory crafts, in my opinion. So I would love to see a bit more distinction brought back between the different gear types, or gear slots, I should say. I would love to see them bring back the larger dark zone that we had in Division 1, or just a larger dark zone and more Div 1 dark zone and PvP philosophies. I would love to see a mode akin to Last Stand come back, or just larger scale PvP modes. I would love to see... I feel like incursions, the way that they're designed in Div 2, at least with Paradise Lost, is quite cool for in-game PvE content. I'm hoping the new one that we're getting this year is going to be cool as well. And I would love to see incursions come back in Div 3. I don't know how many that was, but I'm sure there's a long list I could rattle off. I would love to see new maps in Conflict. Me too. I'm hoping that once all these phases they're talking about of the PvP balance stuff rolls out, I'm hoping that the lead PvP designer might be able to... I'm assuming he kind of gets to pick on what he wants to do next, or what areas of PvP need improvement. I would hope that we could get some new Conflict maps. Do we know where Div 3 is going to be located? No. We know pretty much nothing about Div 3.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Sir,
Architect, what's up?
Patrikios
Thank you for
detonated
the
in rotunda.
for the positivity. I hope you have a wonderful day as well.
Electronic signature detected.
Yeah, it is pretty wild that this event is primarily to celebrate the fact that Brooklyn was already a year ago.
Copy that, Kelso?
That's wild.
Loud and clear. Standing by.
We did learn. We didn't end up making a video on it. I plan to talk about it on Sunday, probably. I'm going to do kind of a larger news and discussion video. But the earnings call was yesterday that some of you may have heard me mention in prior videos. Not a ton of information, but the one pretty interesting detail is that they do confirm that Survivors is set to launch this fiscal year. So that according to them right now is planned to be out by the end of March 27.
That mortar team is still up there.
So that's cool.
They'll need to be clear before
Means
the
that
approach.
that and the DLC and the incursion and all the stuff should be coming within the next 10 months. It's going to be busy times. Come on out, buddy.
Joining your team.
You can do it. Did I bug this guy out? Clocks, thank you so much for the Prime resub, and Mirth coming in with the Tier 1 resub. Very kind of both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm personally excited for the Central Park DLC to be released later this year. Yeah, I mean, I will say, location-wise, I'm much more excited for this one than I was for Brooklyn. Not that I had anything against Brooklyn, but just Central Park and the significance it has for Division is exciting. And I just hope that they've, you know, taken what worked with Brooklyn and what people had feedback on and just made that formula even better. We'll see.
A new agent is joining your team.
General, the division most likely has the briefcase.
They'll try to evac it.
Sergeant Go subbing with Prime, much appreciated, my friend. And Nicholas coming in with 2 gifted subs.
Good visual on the capital.
Nicholas, thank you very much. If anyone out there in the chat just got gifted one by Nicholas, please drop a thank you. Help share the appreciation. Enjoy the badge, enjoy the emotes, enjoy the no ads. Thank you, Nicholas. Rice, you can progress it anywhere. You don't have to be in Brooklyn.
There you are.
Call me Cat, what's up? What do you think of the expertise current situation? Do you think they have to put a game mode to farm for materials and get their introduce Anchor Protector as well? Thank you for your consistent love and support for the game. Thanks, Cat. I guess I need clarification. Are you asking if I think they should add a mode that more directly lets you do materials and expertise and prototype all in one? Is that the question?
I'm ready for it.
My biggest hope of the DLC, there's a reason to go there long term. I wish Massive would utilize their DLC maps more. Why is the Brooklyn celebration not in Brooklyn? I agree, it would be very nice to have a long-term reason to go back to this new DLC. The whole DLC usage thing is interesting. Because like on the one hand, I think it is a nice thing that they do to where if people come back to the game years later, they don't have to buy, you know, 10 different DLCs just to you know, get all the core content and fully appreciate the game, you know? Like, compared to something like World of Warcraft or Destiny, I think that is a very nice approach that they take. But then the other half of it is the people who do buy those things don't have a ton of reason to play them after the first completion. So at the very least, having like a weekly project chain that's just for DLC owners, having stuff like that, I think would be a big improvement. But we'll see how they handle it. And as is true with a lot of things, if they did it the other way, where, you know, let's say Warlords in Brooklyn were like heavily required to fully appreciate the endgame, you'd also then have people saying, oh, the game is so expensive to get into and you have to buy all these things and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of a no-win scenario, I feel like, but maybe there is some kind of middle ground to be reached. I remember in the Reddit Q&A, someone asked for a PvE DZ and it never responded that they'll like this year. It was originally assumed that it was in reference to the DLC, but it's now pretty clear they were talking about Season 2. So what are your predictions for Central Park? Predictions in what sense, Hermes?
Copy that. Those anti-air defenses have to go.
Like content, or?
The missile came from the east side of the building. I'm seeing 2 radar trailers on the east front.
Must be guidance for the SAMs.
I was more or less referring to the expertise side, since at around 24 plus, you're going for chasing items, which gets dull and unfun to go through retaliation over and over. Gotcha, Cat. I mean, I've never been that big of a fan of the expertise system. My reasons are largely because it kind of ruined PvP balance for the last several years. But yes, I also think for new players coming in, it's not that great of a system. I think in many ways you see that prototype gear is sort of meant to circumvent those frustrations, since if you farm escalation and you get drops there, they just come at expertise 30.
Okay, I have eyes
So
on
if
you.
people don't want to go through that whole process, they don't technically have to if they want to go that route. I don't know what you do retroactively to change it, because if they can't just remove it, because then people would be very upset that they spent all that time grinding for it to mean nothing. I suppose they could make further changes to make it go quicker. Probably the easiest, like, short-term solution would just be to run much more frequent proficiency events on the timeline. That seems to be one of the ones that they run the least often, even though it's one of the biggest pain points that people have in progression. So I would think that is probably the easiest way to do it that way. I said it as a joke, but now I'm curious, how would you feel about a Division Battle Royale?
Another miss.
A Division Battle Royale. I mean, I would never complain about them doing anything Division PvP related. I would eat it up. Do I think that is necessarily the smartest thing they could do in 2026? Probably not. Like, if I had to take my own opinions out of it and say what's the most likely to see success in the wider community, I think something like Survivors makes a lot more sense, where you incorporate extraction elements which are more thematically tied to Division, and you offer PvE and PvP to try and get more people in there. This part just takes so long for the radars to do their scan.
One trailer out of action.
Okay, knock out the other one.
Another launch.
Um,
Clean this.
I'll finish that agent.
Taking evasive action.
a division or a battle royale in division wouldn't work. Besides, you'd have to go against the big dogs like Fortnite Warzone. I just think any battle royale attempts in 2026 are already kind of risky. And then plus dedicated PvP division projects. As much as I would love to see it, probably not your smartest bet at this point in time. Not enough of a core audience that would be excited enough by that to then generate the amount of interest you would need from outside division players to make it a return on investment.
We're clear.
I'm really curious, going back to the whole DZ discussion, if I'm trying to think, they're buffing DZ resource drops in the PvP ones by double, and there's going to be an exotic components cache for, I forget how much they said, was it 120 components? Maybe more? So that would be the equivalent to farming 60 now for an exotic component. It might not be the best farm in the game, but that's going to be, at the very least, nice to be able to have a bit more of a relevant in-game farm there. I need to get the restock. Do you think Central Park will be the same type of DLC as Woney in Brooklyn? App storyline from the sun
Agent is joining your team.
something new. Given it's coming out, I mean, again, if it hits its target, which they say is this year, at the very most, that's 18 months after Brooklyn. I would imagine they've fallen into a rhythm or structure format. I don't know what the right word is. You know what I'm saying. I would imagine they found a template. There we go. That works for them. I would be surprised if they do like a huge reinvention of the model after Brooklyn went relatively well for them, you know?
The cargo hook is on its way down. Stand by to attach the briefcase.
Matrix with the resub. Thank you very much. Classified sets with 5th and 6th talents would be nice. Was prototype not enough for you?
We have the briefcase. Taking fire. We're out of here. We've got a whole bunch of hostiles headed to you.
It's a pity they haven't found some way to bring back the LMB. The problem is that in lore, the LMB no longer exists. They were absorbed into the Black Tusk. And when Warlords came out, the Black Tusk got new archetypes like the Shotgun Rusher and a few others to match the LMB enemy archetype playstyle that we saw in Div 1. So unless there were some secret LMB hiding out there, there's not really any LMB left for them to use in gameplay.
Vital signs critical.
Darth. He'll never let it go. Again, as long as it's not in PvP, do what you want. That was my biggest issue with in Div 1, is that it came in and wrecked PvP balance after the best phase of a balance that we ever had in Division.
True Sons lost their stronghold, and General Ridgeway has been neutralized. Of all the toys on my map I've been waiting to knock over, that fucker was the one. A lot of good people from my old unit are dead because of him. Some even went over to his side. Set up a flare from the front steps to signal the all clear. And come on home. Let's celebrate.
What's the best setup for legendary strongholds? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can work. A lot of people just run your pretty standard striker tipping scale DPS. I really enjoy one that I run like solo in legendary is this. Negotiator's Dilemma with the blue screen is quite fun. You say that Massive would keep the same template for something successful, but look how the recent event played out. They could have copied Halloween or Winter. I mean, the Cherry Blossom event is not that dissimilar from Halloween or Winter in terms of, like, reward structure and stuff. They changed how the spawns work just because they wanted to try and dissuade cheesing it. But, I mean, most of it was pretty similar. It was just the key rate that got tuned down that people didn't like. So I don't think, like, from a design standpoint that it was that terribly different. Are there any other easy ones we could do here? I guess we could do a legendary district to get that done. Summit. Oh, we just need one more agent taken out in the DZ. And we'll get a bunch there. Alright. We can do that. We can do that. This will be a retail. True Sons Retaliation. What would happen if we just do this quick? Toronto, what's up? I really hope there's a PvE rebalance on the horizon. Your set's Exotic Brains talents. I agree. I really enjoyed, like, one of my favorite updates from in recent memory was I think it was year 6, season 2, when seasons 2.0 launched. They also did the big rebalance then. And that's when they made, like, aces and eights work with rifles. They made rifles fully automatic. I would love to see another update like that to make stuff more relevant. By the way, I just wanted to check in. We got over 600 people watching on Twitch. Thank you all for giving me your time and hanging out, as well as those on YouTube. Chilling. Facility, it sits outside of Central Park. Queue up to enter. It's a big PvE dark zone until the sun goes down. Hermes, that sounds strangely similar to a game that I play tested once upon a time. Curious. No, I see the vision. I see it. They did pretty much confirm in the Dev AMA back in March that the DLC will not just be Central Park. Because what was their quote? It was something like, it's safest to explore, or it's safest to, I forget the word they used, but they were basically indicating that there would be areas around Central Park that would also be accessible.
joining your team.
Did that do a retail? I don't remember. No?
Detecting
Maybe I
additional
actually
hostile
needed the full
contacts.
bar.
Reinforcements in place.
Painey, thank you very much for the Prime resub. Much appreciated. Oh, that's the friendlies talking. Thought it was enemies.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
We made it! We did what we had to do.
Rogue, would you want to see the return of all gear having talents in Div 3? Something similar to Div 1 instead of what they had earlier Div 2? Yes. Sorry, I was trying to think about what the Div 1 system was, but yes, I would. We were talking about this earlier, and I was saying I would much prefer that gear be more exciting and diverse, like Gear 1.0 or Division 1 gear, compared to what Gear 2.0 is now. The one thing that I really do like about Gear 2.0 is that they make you choose a core attribute. Like, there's no mix and match, get everything, become super strong. Obviously, that can happen now, but at its philosophy, you have to choose a core attribute, and there's no way to work around that. I think choice and variety are two very important things in a gear system for this type of game. Mama melted.
Supply room access unlocked.
Is it a good time to come back to Div 2? This year of content, they're doing more stuff than they've ever done before in post-launch, so if you like frequent updates and things happening, then I would say so, yeah. Oh, I already have a retail in New York.
Regroup.
That's why I wasn't going. I was wondering. Well, I can just run and do this then. What's your opinion on Div 2 being on Xbox Game Pass? I don't know. The more the merrier. I don't really have much of a take on it. Loki, what's up? What's your opinion on Proto Gear?
Friendly control point detected.
Especially with the changes announced today, I think we're continuing in the trend of them making it easier and easier to get, which I don't love. Since the beginning, I said that Proto is most exciting as like an ultra rare drop that you would see. They honestly moved away from that pretty quick when the season came out and they buffed the rates, but I don't know. I think they've kind of caved to the crowd that wanted it to be much easier to get.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Agent, we need you to stabilize downtown west.
Access key detected.
Did they ever talk about rogue agents in escalation? They did not mention that on the stream. That is one thing that I would definitely love to see them change.
Civilians in distress.
Anything for PvP yet? Just today, they announced that Season 2, which is coming up in about a month, will feature an anti-cheat update, as well as a huge PvP balance pass and an update to the Dark Zone vendors. They're doing a PvE Dark Zone as well, but the important part for the PvP ones is that they'll be better to farm for resources, and the vendors will be better. So, next season is having some big PvP changes, finally.
This is the place. Secure the area. Secure those control points, Agent. Quickly.
Hostile control point identified.
We do need to go in and claim which event pass stuff we've completed already. We will eventually, I promise.
Next one's a gut shot.
Oops.
Hostile in the open.
Vital signs critical.
What backpack skin is that? It is the Death Roll, which shows up in the store from time to time.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Heavily armored hostile detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.
I'm drunk watching this, sorry mate. That sounds like a hell of an experience. Don't know if I would wish that on anybody. But I hope you enjoy. Yes, Archer, absolutely. I am the compulsive reloader. Often to my detriment. Especially when I'm running like the Big Owl, I have to so consciously tell myself not to reload.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Taking command of area. You can't touch the
Rice, no, the ones I'm wearing are part of the premium side. But we will check out the free ones once I claim them in a bit. Have you seen the next phase of Resurgence? Yes, no? I don't know. Is there more info? Phase 3 was what, like the Scorpio, I think, was coming out? Did they say more than that? I know Resurgence has been... I haven't actually played it in a few weeks. I know people have been quite unhappy with their handling of the live issues, though, from what I've seen. I've got the Caretaker is what I'm using right now. Named G36 with Perfect Killer. Oh, the milkshake? Yeah, that came out. I don't remember. A week ago? 2 weeks ago? I downloaded Resurgence after seeing your video about it, so I haven't touched it. It's a fun game. Like, I really enjoyed going through for the campaign and seeing their take on Division 1 after Division 1. But it just seems like from a live game perspective, they've had trouble keeping up with bug fixes and communication and all that. So there was actually a major patch for Resurgence yesterday that fixed a chunk of issues. Oh, that's good.
Watch out.
I'll have to check it out. I do need to get the new exotic. What did they say about prototype recalibrations? They said that it is still work in progress. It's not going to be there for Season 2 because they want to get it right. And that's about all we got. Got a capacitor.
Stay the fuck away!
Kill squad down.
I'm stoked after the live stream. It was all good news we were clamoring to hear about. Well, I'm glad you're excited, Midnight. Oh, A2, I'm very sorry I missed your 3-stream streak. Appreciate it. You said, do you think they'll add priority objectives for the PvE Dark Zones? I don't think they'll really need to. Because the current ones are mostly, like, if you get a... I mean, you will... It is sort of a risk, right? Because if you're selecting a PvP objective, then you might get conflict. But the majority of the PvP ones that you pick are just saying clear landmarks in X Dark Zone. So, no, I doubt they'll add, like, a dedicated category for it. But I think it will just work that if you happen to get one that says clear landmark in the PvE zone, then that'll count as well.
Reinforcements en route.
Need a recap video? It's up on the channel.
Incoming hostiles
The
detected.
recap video is there to be watched.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
First time viewer from YouTube. Redman, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you've got your account linked to get the drops going. That aim was so good, y'all wouldn't even believe.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
In Resurgence, they put out an exotic LMG called the Strawberry Milkshake. I think it's a joke towards one of the, or a reference at least towards a line that one of the characters says during the campaign. So no, it is, or yes, it is a real thing. But it's basically just the Pestilence. I don't know why they didn't call it the Pestilence. It does the same thing.
Agent, I'm getting reports that a black tusk kill squad is on site.
Ooh,
What the hell are they doing there?
kill squad at the control point.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Where was the... I don't know where the squad was. You're making it look so easy, Rogue. Sorry. What's up, Alpha? So in the past, didn't do other PvP brackets.
priority objective available, Agent.
Gotcha, man. You're stuck in a building somewhere? Oh well. Need to get another PvP one. Because we need one more agent kill to get that done. Randman, I'm on console. I play on Xbox Series X. Can you get exotic components from the control point crates during retaliation? Yes, you can, Flamingo. Same chance as the usual open world, which is 10%.
The civilians are safe for now.
What's up, Lear you? I will right now. Thank you for the reminder. Game Girl, what's up? How's it going? Welcome in. We need to dismantle cache. Tell me about it.
Agent is joining
That's
your
like, you know, they keep saying that from a technical level, it's hard to do the open all cache thing because of last gen consoles. Just let me deconstruct them then. I don't care about what's inside. I'll open conflict caches because those have a chance to give me exotics, but field proficiencies, either don't give them to me or let me deconstruct them. I don't want them. All right, Dark Zone, Dark Zone, Dark Zone, Dark Zone. Let's check out East. We need to find one player. How difficult do we wager that will be?
access granted.
I am actually going to do a loop here. If these are coming in, we might be able to get some good components. Game Girl with the Prime as well. Thank you very much for that. That's very generous.
Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Incoming dark zone drop.
I did Alpha, yeah. What are the target loots for escalation today? I believe it is pistols, core strength, breaking point. And I'm not sure I remember the last two. Maybe somebody could help finish the list.
Agent, downtown east is under attack.
Serious trauma detected. Detecting additional hostile contacts. Contaminated gear detected.
LMG, thank you. What's wrong, Demarsh? The proto caches are rumored not to be renewed and proto recal is coming. Proto recalibration is coming. They talked about that back when this season launched. They said that was something they were going to work on. Caches are not
Contaminated gear.
expiring or anything like that. The prototype vendor is going to stay, and they're adding prototype caches to the Dark Zone vendors with next season.
Now detecting contaminated gear. Detected. Location guarded by heavily armed hostiles. Claiming DC drop.
Stub my toe? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Gotta go rogue. Oh, Chester, I'm so sorry. Redeem to go rogue. I shall do it immediately.
Initiating rogue protocol.
Oh, oh. Made it out just fine. That will change once he finds someone? True. I do need 1 kill for my project.
Rogue protocol deactivated. Rogue protocol initiated. Contaminated gear detected.
I'm actually going to start saving up my... If you want a bit of advice for next season, start saving up your DZ resources. Spend them either on exotic component caches or prototype caches.
Now detecting
Ooh.
contaminated gear.
Got a sweet dreams out of there, hell yeah. And an exotic component. Have I ever gotten an
No agent
exotic
is
out of a
joining your
cache? Or out of a chest? That's kind of wild.
Enemy patrol detected.
Someone's in there with you? How do you know? Did they show up at the bottom? Did I miss it? Matthias, thank you so much for the resub, man. Said, how are you today? I'm doing quite well. Excited that we got some PvP updates coming next season.
Contaminated gear.
So, doing well, man. How are you? They showed up at the bottom. I will find them. And I will kill them.
Heavily armed hostiles guarding location nearby.
Noble, do what you have to. I'm afraid to tell you, though, that there might be a decade's worth of Dark Zone offenses to report me for. Been doing this since 2016.
Dark Zone drop. Stolen.
Oh, we got some ninja bikes. We're doing pretty good on the exotics today. If I do say so myself.
Contaminated gear.
We're doing pretty good. I think, frankly, they should up the... With the PvE Dark Zone coming in, they should up the drop rates in the PvP Dark Zones. Not by a ton, but by a little bit. I feel like that would help further incentivize farming in there. Let me get rid of these two. I'm fine too. Good to hear it, man.
Rogue status removed. Initiating rogue protocol. Now detecting contaminated gear.
But yeah, I'm very anxious to see that list of tomorrow. Leo flashed those like 20 pages of notes. I was like, oh, that is what I need. I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Rogue protocol
We're gonna go this way to make sure we get the drop. And we'll loop back over. Do you get better stuff going rogue? No, I'm just doing it so that I don't have to waste keys on opening the chests, because if you claim it as a rogue, then you don't have to spend anything.
Rogue status removed. Now detecting contaminated gear. Contaminated gear detected.
How does the PvE DZ work? So it's going to be a season exclusive feature to next season. There's going to be a new toxicity mechanic in there, which basically means the longer you're in there, the more debuffs that apply to your character. There's also scaling, depending on how many players are in the zone. So if there's 12 players in there, then the enemies are going to be a lot harder, since you can group up and be more powerful with other people. There's going to be hunters at extractions, and it's all kind of tied into the season progression with your modifiers. You're like collecting these samples to extract, and that lets you buy more power back at the base.
How'd you let them get there?
That is the general gist of what they've outlined.
Contaminated gear detected.
Beast, yeah, you have to extract them before you deconstruct them. That actually sounds kind of fire. We're going to be checking it out definitely on the PTS. That will probably be the first video I do
Agent is joining your team.
tomorrow, is checking that out and seeing what we think. And then I'll take some time to look at the PvP changes and probably have a video on that for Saturday.
Initiating rogue protocol. Now detecting
Scotty P, thank you very much for the 1 month. Or sorry, for the resub. 1 month. PvEDZ, I guess if you cry long enough on Reddit, your dreams will come true.
hostile patrol detected.
We'll see how it's done. My biggest fear with a PvE Dark Zone has always been that I think there are a few ways they can do it where it doesn't detract from the PvP DZ experience. It sounds like they're taking that into account by making it more advantageous to farm in the PvP Dark Zones. And this is also just a one-season thing for now. So, while I don't absolutely love it, I also don't hate what they're proposing. So I think we'll see how it goes over. Coming over from finishing your most recent YouTube video. Square, thank you. I hope you liked it. I appreciate you checking it out. You don't have to do it, man. You don't have to do it. Oh, shoot. Shoot!
Signs critical.
Okay, we're good.
Engaging landmark.
Alright, now we just need to extract. And then we need to go find a Dark Sun with people in it.
Hostiles detected.
Not another one.
I think a lot of people are forgetting it's seasonal. Yeah, I mean, I think the implication that they kind of gave on stream, much like the companions, was that if this is received well, we will consider bringing it back. So, I mean, that is something to keep in mind. But yes, for now, it's just going to be a one-season deal. Because the whole toxicity mechanic is directly tied into the modifiers, which obviously are only going to be here for one season.
Detecting
Okay, I don't really know why I'm fighting that. Let's go extract.
High threat enemy patrol detected.
What are the... I haven't really been able to look at any of it because I went straight from making the video to being live. Has anyone seen what the community's like reaction to the dev stream has been? Whether it's on the video today or on like Reddit or Discord, are people excited about it? Are they mad? Because that's the problem, is that the idea of a PvE Dark Zone has always been really appealing for some, whereas other people completely hate it. So I feel like no matter how they do it, it's going to be divisive. It's Reddit, they're mad. Fair point. Yeah, I really had to stop going on there as much. So sometimes you get good discussion out of there, but so frequently it just turns into such a place. I'll leave it at that. It's split and it's Reddit. Fair. How does the proto gear and weapon caches from the vendor work with targeted loot? It doesn't, Alpha. They're disconnected. So the random cache just gives you one completely random item. And then if it's like a mask cache or a rifle cache, it just gives you something in that category. There's no targeting to it. I pick my friends by who has Reddit accounts and who don't.
Extraction helo, almost within range.
It's a win-win. I agree with your points there, Carney, but I also think you have to acknowledge that PvP has had such little support and such little content over the years that removing one of their few pieces of content is... Oh, hello. It's Aikido. Aikido, will you help me finish my project? Look at all that XP I just got for killing one person. I'm sorry, Aikido. Thank you for helping the cause. We appreciate your sacrifice. Oh, man. What was I getting at? That, yeah, so PvE Dark Zone does ultimately detract from the PvP side of the game, which is unfortunate given how little content and support we've had over the years. But I think they're doing it in a mostly okay way from their proposal. We'll see. I'm sorry, Aikido. But you just got us a ton of rewards, man. You should take solace in that fact.
Rogue status removed. Helo is returning to base.
Can't wait to have my beloved Caduceus back. Yeah, the what's it called? I saw people asking about if we heard about the Caduceus. It's confirmed that it will be a season pass reward for season 2. So it won't be here till the new season, but we don't have to wait for the climax mission.
Exiting dog zone.
Is the build you're running linked to the command? Yes. If you go on that video to the Dark Zone section, this is the build that's outlined in there. It should condense PvP players. The potential problem that's always been there with the idea of doing a PvE Dark Zone is that if you just have a Dark Zone without PvP that's as rewarding as the other one, then less people will be in the PvP Dark Zones, because that is the premise of the DZ, right? It's rewarding because there's the risk of PvP. I'm not 100% convinced that this won't do that. I do like that they're making it so that you get more DZ resources out of the PvP ones, but I don't think that concern is entirely eliminated with what they've said, so that's something that I want to check out on the PTS. Like, that's the ultimate thing, Blindy. I read your comment there. It's never, the argument against a PvE DZ has never been about prohibiting people from having more gameplay experiences. Like, I know I completely lost my train of thought. I know that people have wanted the Dark Zone experience in a PvE format for a long time. It's less about prohibiting that from happening and more about ensuring that the Dark Zone retains its value as a piece of content. My issue with the PvE DZ is that it does not fit with the lore and spirit of it. That's also true. Jive, that's very true. Honestly, I think the PvE Dark Zone should have no exotic drops unless they find a way to make it massively challenging. I would agree with that. The way Division was originally presented was that the whole game is PvP. Not entirely, Guns. If you look at the end of the 2013 trailer when they zoom out, they're actually within a Dark Zone. But that is a sectioned off zone on the map. So assumedly, it was kind of a similar idea where that was only going to happen within Dark Zones. But they originally had more than one Dark Zone in Div 1 when you look at that trailer. Alright, so we got one of our big projects done. How far are we on the event pass? Ooh, we got a lot of stuff. So, Rat Queen pants, Rat Queen shoes. It's out of cash. LMB pants, LMB boots, and the Rat Queen jacket. What I want to do next is we can do our weekly district run. I'll try solo. We'll see how it goes. But we can put on a new fit for that. Let's rock the Rat Queen stuff. I kind of like how the LMB mask looks underneath some of these hoods. Like, that's kind of cool. I'll wear that. Honestly, that's not a terrible look right there. Oh, another Stronghold exotic item. Could it be District or a Brooklyn mission? For 1,000 though, that's gotta be Army Terminal, right? Ah, we got Roosevelt. All right, let's do District. How much is DLC now? I think they just launched a sale. I didn't see the exact tweet, but it might have been like 70% off for Brooklyn. I assume you need to be in Brooklyn to do the new stuff. You don't, actually. We're doing it right now in DC. The event pass, which is what's live right now, can be done anywhere. The global event that they're launching on Tuesday can be done anywhere. The only thing that you'll need Brooklyn for is the new Hunter, if you want to take them on. That will be tied to the DLC. Okay, we're going to do that. I've got my modifier set to headshot, which should be good. Do I want this instead? Let's try it with this. See how we do.
Your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
I guess in theory, I could also do ambush. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I didn't switch to a decoy. Uh-oh. Switch that right now. The man with the legendary voice has returned. Are you talking about me or are you talking about yourself? Because that'd be a pretty good flex. You just walk into places, feel like I've returned. Any hints or thoughts on new skills, Purple Flame or like? No, I don't think we've gotten any hints of new skills. I'd always be down. I enjoy new things to play with, make builds around, so I'd always be down. I've always said for years, but this is more PvP leaning. I think it'd be great to have a hive variance that acts like a trophy system. So it could absorb like incoming grenades and mortars and stuff like that. That would be very useful for my DZ runs. I agree, Cinders. The audio and the visuals of the blue screen are not my favorite, which sucks given I love how the gun works so much. I'm really hoping someday we get a blue screen exotic skin. I begged Pale for it. Yeah, Sneaky. Final Measure did that. And they brought it back, not one... What? My hive. My hive didn't go off. I think I was EMP'd. Tragic. Alright, we try again. Yeah, Final Measure in Div 1 did that, and they brought back measured assembly, but it focused more on skill proxies than grenades. So I was a little bit sad about that. There's still a mini tank there? Alright, I'm really selling now. I thought they were all dead. Oh my god, I can't even get the right angle to shoot him. As you all can tell, I'm a pro at Legendary, 100%. Too much PvP has made you bad at PvE? Oh, 100%. That's been the case since 2016, though. I play far too aggressively for the content I try and do. Damn, I let so many of these guys get away this time. Alright, that was a little bit better. Are you still back there? Damar, sounds good, man. Thank you very much for being here as always, doing everything that you do. Appreciate you.
A new agent is joining your team.
Cinders, thank you very, very much for the prime. Very kind of you. Do you think we'll ever get a new raid? I mean, a few years ago I would have told you that I never thought that we'd get the amount of content we're getting in year 8. So never say never, but I doubt it. I bet they will continue to probably do new incursions if we get more content beyond this year, because that seems to be the much more cost-efficient and reasonable kind of content to do for where the game and player base is at. That'd be my guess. Lear, I'm 100% going to get it, just as a fan and collector. I don't really know much about tabletop games, nor have I played a bunch, so I don't know how into the game itself I will really be, but definitely excited for it. I was like, can you please blow up so I don't get mowed down? Would you say getting back older incursions like Falcon Lost or Dragon's Nest would be a lazy way to make more? I'm somebody who has always said I don't really care to see them reprise Division 1 content. I would rather them try new stuff, even though that new stuff doesn't always work out the best. I mean, we have Descent in the game, which a lot of people don't like, when a lot of people said, why didn't you just like remake Underground or something? I would still they rather try new stuff in the hopes that it is cool new things that we wouldn't have gotten to experience otherwise. So I think now with the additional support teams and resources they have, like, just commit to making one new one per year, you know? We're getting the new one this year at a hydroelectric dam, which sounds like a cool location, so just keep going with that model. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to press that so early. Whoops.
A new agent is joining your team. Serious trauma detected.
Shoot, I gotta back up.
Out of action. Vital signs critical.
No, dude, I didn't mean to start that room.
Agent killed.
I was planning out what I wanted to do and I hit the D-pad thinking it was gonna pull my grenade out.
You've got your objective.
Damn.
Let anything stand
Do I
in
really
your
care
way.
about doing this? Questionable. I use Roll20 and Foundry. Yeah, I know they're doing like a digital version of it. Phantom, thank you very much for the Prime as well. Chad, I'm really determined. I feel like I can do it. That was a mistake there. I'm giving it one more try. Actually, you know what I could do though? I think I have a bunch of prototype negotiator pieces that I'm not running. That could give me a leg up. Activate ambush, but I like my modifiers. I could activate ambush. It would probably make it a lot easier. Yeah, I do have stuff. We've got one with with amalgam would be pretty good. Oh, I think that was the original idea. I wanted to make one that had a bunch of amalgams for maximum status stuff. So let's try that. Why not? I've actually got decent pieces, some with echo, some with that.
A new agent is joining your team.
And I'll try it with ambush just because chat said I should. Alright, and then give me 2 crit damage mods. That only gets me 1.5. I guess I only have it in 3 places. Thought it was going to be more. That's fine. Are you 1000% sure all proto caches are random? Looked at the patch notes. Cache is part of daily rotation. Alpha, I'm not sure how your quote, or the quote from the patch notes disproves the idea that they're random. I'm quite sure that they're random, yes. Marco, thank you very much for blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much for the Prime resub. Said howdy. How you doing? Very important question. How do you like your steak? Tamar said if it's not rare, medium rare, I can't be friends. It is. Drumroll, please. Medium rare. There you go. Alright. See, the other problem with disabling them is we get less XP, which was part of the whole reason we were doing it. But, that's okay. Let's see how ambush makes it go.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Alright, with prototype and ambush, if I can't do it now, then it's confirmed that I'm just a bad player. Oh my goodness, that damage ramp up is crazy. Why did they make those so much stronger than the other ones? That's nuts. Unfortunately, though, I don't now have my mini tank one-shot ability with the blackout pulse. This is the blue screen exotic LMG that I'm using. I thought the blue screen was a support LMG. It's a crowd control weapon, but crowd control can make for pretty fantastic damage if you build it right. Look at that. Get them all caught in one go. That's what I like to see. Lirio, are you heading out? Take care. I appreciate you. Alpha, I'm afraid I don't understand what you're saying about the cache. All I was saying is that when you open a prototype cache from the vendor, it gives you a random item within the pool that it's saying. And that is, to my understanding, what the patch notes describe. For anyone asking about what build I'm running right now, if you type in !build, it will link you to the video where I break it down. You just want to check out the crowd control section once you're there.
Vital signs critical.
What he's saying is that specific gear weapon caches are supposed to produce higher rolls than random gear. I'm honestly still not sure what you mean. I'm sorry, maybe I'm having a small brain moment.
Serious trauma detected.
Proto vendor is 3 types random gear weapon, right? The dev said gear weapons would come with better rolls. And do we have like full proof to say that that's not the case? Because I imagine there's still a degree of RNG to it, but I have not looked into that discrepancy. Maybe I misunderstood Alpha's original comment. I thought it was about the randomness of what item you got out of those caches. So I cannot say that I've done any research or investigation into the roll quality of those caches. Apologies for any confusion, Alpha. New subscriber. Love the channel. Mac Mood, thank you very much. Is that Hunter's Fury you're running with the blue screen? No, this is Negotiator's Dilemma. The gear set that lets you split your damage or your crits between different targets.
What was that? Roger that. Good hit. Center back.
Dang, how'd y'all see me?
Right here. Take out all of it.
Ambush is too good. Let it build up here for a sec. My original question was whether the cache is using the escalation target loot or overall open world target loot. It should be neither. It should be just like any other cache that you open in the game that's not dictated by targeted loot. It has its own pool, random pool that it draws from.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Epic, what's up? At work, finally able to catch you live. About to hop over on Twitch so I can get my drops. 100%, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Just to let everyone know, we probably will not be live for a full 4 hours to get all the drops unlocked. I apologize. I will be back live on Tuesday before the campaign ends if you just want to watch them through me. But we will raid somebody who has drops enabled so that you can continue your progress seamlessly if you wish. But I just don't quite have 4 hours worth of time for streaming today, unfortunately.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Out again. Airburst coming in.
Vital signs critical.
You kick.
K-Frog, what's up? We have been farming Season XP for the new event pass. Just making some progress, hanging out, talking, chatting. Still feels like a weird split for them releasing the pass and drops and the actual content for it isn't until Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know what motivated the delayed deployment there.
Target is here.
I'm not sure.
Put it down.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Hostiles built.
A new agent is joining your team.
Target's both top of them.
Nervously waiting for the door across to open up. There we go.
Vital signs critical.
Easy. started working after I talked to you about to get the clip. Nice, Larry. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that and Fragile Armor did, like, definitively get fixed up in the last patch. Lost Evil, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Does the PvE DZ worry you about how they'll handle the DZ in Div 3? Not particularly. I don't think their proposition for it, as someone who's been against it for years, I don't think what they're proposing in this season sounds absolutely terrible. If I had to choose between do we have a PvE DZ or not, I would choose not. But if they are going to do it, it sounds like they're mostly going to respect the idea of having the PvP ones still be more worthwhile to farm and all that. It's also for now just a one-season thing. And so I really do think at this point in Division 2's life, they're just trying to find ways to make the existing content more exciting, give some people stuff they've been asking for a long time, tie in the season progression to different areas. So, I don't know. You never know. You don't know what's an experiment for Div 3 or what's just a random idea they had that they thought might be fun. But it doesn't make me terribly concerned, no.
Serious trauma detected.
Alright, I'm getting a little too confident here.
Agent down.
I got movement here.
It's not great that I just used my revive hive before we get to one of the harder rooms. Whoops. And it's not great that I just died. Why do I do that? Whoever said that it's because of my PvP gameplay, you were 100% right.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Nikita, what's up? Just saw your new PTS video. I'm excited for the changes. Wait, is this the same? Go all the way down. Nikita, I saw your video that you did the other day on Div 2. I appreciate the shout out. You certainly didn't have to do that, but super well edited, man. It was very entertaining. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Crossplay should help out with players filling in different areas of the game. 100%. Alright, well, we're not doing that again, Chad. I embarrassed myself 3 times in a row.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
That's just how it would be sometime. How close are we to the next level? Not very. Can we get a few quick ones? We could do one more mission. Coney Island Ballpark. Alright, I take it back. I don't want to do that. What else could I do? Defeat the Nemesis. Nah. Got a conflict brain, pretty much. Commit to the bit. Quitter? Matt, don't call me a quitter. That's mean. No, I honestly just don't have that much time left to stream. I've got a hard out in about 13 minutes. What can we do for that last little bit? We're gonna do a conflict game. Screw it. If I'm gonna die because of PvP tendencies in PvE, I might as well actually use them properly in PvP. Horrible timing with me complaining about PvP and then them announcing changes. Hey, honestly, it's still fair. It's been like 6 years without them doing anything, so I will take any visibility we can get on PvP as possible. But seriously, good job, man. I'm pretty sure I watched your Division 1 video of like a similar style. It's always entertaining for me to like see the perspective of someone who hasn't played you know, Division religiously all this time.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. They have me hooked now. I'll be there for season 2. Hell yeah, man. Definitely hope to see you around. But yeah, Tuesday is going to be a big day. Finale. New Hunter. We're going to have a lot of stuff to do. The cleaner fit doesn't look all that bad. That's kind of cool. Looking forward to the Caduceus. It might need a buff though. 1.5% doesn't seem like enough. I'm worried it's going to be too strong, Gilgamesh. Mostly because if you think about how high we can scale our damage, the fact that it's based on damage now means, especially for the fact that it applies to your group. I mean, if you have a full tank player and someone is running full glass cannon, hitting like 3 million crits, like what's 1% of that? I'm bad at math, so I'm going to do it on my phone right now.
We urge all civilians to stay vigilant. Hostiles have been spotted outside the
So that would be what, like 30,000? I think its biggest hindrance will be the fact that it has such a low RPM. So it just depends on like, can you pair it with unit alloys and all this other stuff? But I don't know. We will find out in the PTS.
A new agent is joining your team.
They'll make it like 0.5% in PvP. We shall find out. Epic, thank you very much for the Prime. And Matt with 1,000 bits. Said I'm on vacation. See you all Tuesday. Man, enjoy your vacation. That's very kind of you to come in and drop 1,000 bits to announce that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the generosity as always. And seriously, enjoy your time, man. We'll see you back soon. Alright, one game to end it off. Can we win? Given our performance the rest of the stream, I'm going to say probably not. We lost our conflict game earlier. I died 3 times on District.
Hostile drone detected.
Not looking too good. We'll work with Turmoil for the additive values. That's a very good question, Demon. Something to check out on the PTS for sure. Oh, wow.
Serious trauma detected.
That didn't go well.
Agent out of action.
Where's the Phoenix Hunter? Comes out on Tuesday. Happy to contribute. Been watching for quite some time. I've enjoyed seeing the members page grow. Yeah, Epic. It's wild to me how many people are willing to, especially, I mean, these days there's a lot you could be putting your money towards. So the fact that people go out of their way to support is more appreciated than I could ever say. Thank you for being a part of that.
Agent down.
And it truly does help out. Waiting to see where they're going to push from. Watching both hallways. There's one down there. Oh, there's one behind, of course.
Assistance needed.
Dang.
Agent out of action. Agent vital signs. 0.
I see the district fails carried over. Y'all are so nice to me.
An agent needs
Gosh.
assistance.
Would you rather use Caretaker over the Lexington? Not in a straight DPS fight, but for fun and variety, yeah. That's why I've been using it more lately.
Boost now active.
Got both of them. Let's see if I can lock down boost before they respawn. Actually, you know what? Even better than getting it for myself, why not kill someone who tries to get it themselves? Because no radar is cheesy. And I will say that every game I play until they add it. It's the perfect kill trap right there.
Hostile defender drone detected. An agent needs assistance. Hostile drone detected. Boost about to
I'm waiting to see
expire.
if someone else is going to try it before it's over. Nope.
The boost is now
Oh, this guy knows
offline.
I'm still here, though. That drone is right above me. Shoot! Dang, I didn't have enough time. I should have just BM'd him. I was going to die either way. Dang it!
Out of action.
Dang it, dang it, dang it.
Agent vital signs 0.
They will never add a radar to conflict. I mean, some people also said they would never rebalance PvP. You look what we're getting next season. Never say never.
A new agent is joining your team.
Epic continuing on the generosity, giving out one gifted sub. Thank you, man. Whoever just received that on Twitch, if you're able to drop a thank you in the chat, we would appreciate it. And thank you again, Epic, for being so kind. Map's too small? Well, it wouldn't have to work the same way as the standard radar does. I talked about this a lot in my recent video going over PvP, but they could either reduce the range, they can make it so that people just ping on there once every few seconds. I agree with you that if they added it 1-to-1, it would be a problem. But I don't think just saying keep an eye out is a worthy substitute for having a radar, because there's too much imbalance that third person brings to make that a healthy environment, in my opinion.
Supply drop being claimed by friendly.
An agent needs assistance.
How did this guy die? Is one of them watching? I don't like the fact that you're not crawling away from there, man.
Hostile defender drone detected.
Friendly claiming the supply drop.
Okay, he was watching. Well, you should have crawled if you knew he was there. Why are you just sitting there?
Has expired.
I thought that was a trap.
Agent down.
You're gonna die from the supply drop. That was crazy. I'm glad I didn't fall for that.
Assistance. Immediate medical assistance
Tough.
needed. lines, 0.
Conflict is already too easy. Yeah, it's too easy because you can sit around a corner and no one knows you're there, and then you just shoot them in the back. I'm not saying, look, your opinion's completely valid. If you think there should be no radar, that's totally fine. I just think that is one of the worst parts of this mode.
Hostile drone detected.
Forward, if you type in !build, that'll link you to a overall build recommendation video that I did. And there's a conflict chapter and section in there where I go over this exact build. But it is Umbra with Tinkerer
Boost.
and
Activate.
streamlined and measured. That said, they did confirm on the stream today that
Boost
Tinkerer is going to be disabled in PvP. So I'm going to have to rework this one a little bit.
An agent needs assistance.
You don't have many reinforcements left.
Yeah, Demon, we're probably signing off after this game, I'm afraid.
The boost is being
Could also be
checked
that the
by
radar
allies.
only shows when they shoot.
Agent
The
down.
the problem is that wouldn't actually help, in my opinion, what the issue with having no radar is, and that's people hiding in places that you physically have no way to tell that they're there
An agent needs assistance.
until you pass them and they shoot you in the back. Once someone shoots, you can hear them and then you know where they are. But because they nerfed the pulse so heavily in this, the cooldown on it, you have very few options to actually identify where people are at, and that just leads to abuse, I think. I just think everyone has tunnel vision, that's the problem. Well, I disagree. But like I said, I respect your take on it. He's down, team. Finish the job.
There are no more
Nice.
rogue reinforcements.
I think my hoodie should be here in the next few days. Hell yeah, Hollow Point. I hope you love it. Thanks again for getting one.
Hostile explosive seeker mine detected. Hostile stinger hive detected. Serious trauma detected.
Oh,
Agent down.
I was like, no way, he clutches up there. GG's, we finally won a game.
You won.
Who would have thought?
Well done.
Folks, we are going to call it there. I mean, I need to get back out into the game. But, yeah, unfortunately, I got to go run and do some other stuff for the day. It's been a very busy morning with getting the div stream recap out, heading into this. I appreciate all of you hanging out very much. We have, right now, 700 people watching on Twitch. Thank you so much. If you're just here for the drops, I will raid somebody who is also doing them, so you can continue your progress. Alternatively, I will be live back on Tuesday. And the drops go for a full week, so if you want to tune back in then and get them, you certainly can. Let me look for who is live at the moment. Looks like Livid has got drops on doing Div 2, and we'll raid Livid. I'm sorry, Lear you. And you can always have me in the Discord. You can just tag me incessantly. And then I'll answer like 4 days later, because that's what I do. Time to lower the volume for whoever we raid. Are you saying I'm loud or quiet? Either way, I'm sorry. Once again, folks, thank you so much for hanging out. Much love. We'll be back on Tuesday with the finale with the rest of the Brooklyn event, the new Hunter. There will be PTS videos coming out over the weekend on YouTube in case you want to see those. And I believe that is it. I just prefer listening to you. Oh, well, that's very kind. That's a good way to end it off. So thanks again, folks. Much love. See you back soon. Until then, Rogue Gold out.